Ladies in red. Ladies in red. Ladies in red. Discuss the latest news, just fans giving their views. This channel is red. They see the bar and raise it, plus they rep for the ladies. Trust it's red. Female voices in football. Red. If you want to talk up, it's a red channel for me and you. Subscribe and tune into the Ladies in Red.
Hi guys, welcome back to Ladies in Red. We're back with another one, a preview for the big game. I'm just going to put it on there. The team has been released. De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Telles. I've missed Delo off there as well. Delo was in there as well.
No, it's Delo instead of Telles.
Yeah. Well, what's going on with this? I swear I just edited this. So yeah, we've got. Why did I change? Why did I change? Mate, run through it while I'm typing this in for me.
Okay, so the starting 11 lineup, we're playing in the 3-4-3 formation. De Gea, Phil Jones, Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof, Delo, Pogba, Matic, Wan-Bissaka, Alanga, Rashford, Bruno Fernandes.
I can't believe Sancho's.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. I think that's what's throwing me off.
But he's playing. I mean, I just looked on the BBC and it's like Bruno on the wing. Surely that's not the case.
I'm looking at the Sky app. He is playing on the wing. He looks like he is playing on the left-hand side on the wing. Rashford's playing as like up front. Alanga's playing on the right. But for me, in my opinion, we've seen Alanga play in the middle. So I think that would have been the sensible option.
Yeah, well, I literally changed it and I didn't press enter. So that's why when I put it on the screen, it was the same one that was there prior. So we've got De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Jones, Lindelof, Maguire, Delo, Matic, Pogba, Bruno, Alanga, Rashford. You're saying, 3-4-3 is what it's saying on Sky. I'm personally seeing that as a 5 at the back. I can't see, Wan-Bissaka in particular isn't really an attacking fullback. But, Matic coming in, I think we all expected that. The Sancho one is a bit baffling, I'll be honest, because Sancho was the one that you thought, you know what, he'll be the first name on the team sheet pretty much. He's one that surely will be starting. The fact that he's not. We weren't feeling confident prior to it, but after seeing this lineup, are you thinking, maybe it's going to surprise us? It's something a bit different? Or are you girls thinking, I'm dreading it? I can see Maisy's face. I'll start with you, Maisy, because your face is telling me, yeah, you're not feeling it.
We are done. We are absolutely done. That is what I'm going to say. We are done. I know people are not happy with the Phil Jones starting, but Phil Jones shows passion compared to the rest of these.
Last time he played, wasn't he man of the match though? To be fair,
yeah, he was man of the match, and I actually wouldn't mind playing Phil Jones. Wan-Bissaka is an attacking fullback. I've probably seen a bit more attacking play properly from Wan-Bissaka than Delo anyway. But why play first of all Wan-Bissaka over Telles? Well, that doesn't make sense. Why put Bruno Fernandes on the wing instead of Jadon Sancho, who arguably for me is our best winger? Why put Rashford in the middle when we have got Alanga, who has got experience in playing in the middle? I wouldn't have even put Rashford on because this is going to be losing possession FC. And the team is literally not disciplined enough to win this game.
Well, I think that's what he's gone for. I think he's obviously he's had to work with what he's got. Obviously, Ronaldo not being there, Cavani not being there. This strikes me as being a disciplined lineup or defensive lineup, part of the Buzz lineup, whatever you want to call it. Very defensive, which is why, for me, that's why I'd start Sancho, because you're thinking on the counter attack or on a break, he's somebody who can make something happen. The fact he's not there is worrying. Is he injured? Has he got a knock? I haven't really heard anything about it, but who knows? This is a defensive team. There's no two ways about it. It's a defensive team. But you know what? At the end of the game, we come out with a draw. I think we'd all say, you know what, Ralph got it right. But can you really trust us? We've seen how many goals we've conceded this season. Can we really trust us to go out there and put in a defensive performance? Look, we can see goals for fun. Norwich scored 8 away goals. They scored 2 at Old Trafford. That's concerning when you look at the Liverpool attack.
You can't trust us to put in a disciplined kind of performance. I think even when we played Liverpool at home, you go in like 3-0 down and you just sort of letting them still play their game, coming out in the second half, and it's just the same. So no, and I can't see us. But I think at the same time, he's just thinking, what have I got? What can I do? He's not going to, if he went gung-ho, he would have been criticised, going defensive, criticised. I just think it's a lose-lose situation. I think the amount of people that are out as well, Fred, that was one that really, I know we never thought he'd say it, but that one really hit the heart when I heard he was out, because I think, shit, he's the only one that bloody will pass and try and move and try and take it off him. But I think if we just sit back and like you say, hit him on the counter, who knows what can happen. I don't know. I feel like this is the coming for Rashford now. I feel like if you're not up, Man United fan, if you're not up for this to, put in a stellar performance, then, you can't expect everyone to be singing your name. But I don't know. We'll have to see. But this can be his make or break moment in a way. But I don't know.
If you're looking at our bench,
wasn't confident. I'm not confident now.
Looking at our bench, we've got Henderson, Tellez, Boye, Hannibal, Lingard, Mata, McTominay, Garnacho, and Sancho. Obviously, Sancho is a good one to bring on from the bench. Other than that, he's very inexperienced, obviously quite young in terms of Hannibal. Lingard's there as well. Lingard, I felt, did decent against Norwich. I'll be honest, I thought Lingard looked decent against Norwich. And I did think maybe he would be in with a look in today because of Fred and McTominay being out. Maybe he would be an option. But he's obviously gone for the more conservative one. That midfield battle, I think, is going to be very, very interesting. Lots of Thiago in there. Obviously, Pogba's in there as well. I know it's cliche, but that game in that midfield could be won or lost, couldn't it? Because I remember in the game at Old Trafford, and I don't like to think about it, obviously being down scarred from it, but I remember literally they're steamrolling through our midfield, Pogba giving the ball away in and around the air in dangerous areas as well. We need to learn from our mistakes. Maisy, are you confident that this team will learn from the mistakes?
No, I just don't see it, honestly. It just feels like this is the game, just as Nat said, that this is, as a Manchester United team, you need to be switched on the most. And if you are not wanting to step up against the biggest game in world football, the biggest game in the Premier League, why be at the club? And it's just going to be very, very interesting. I just think the team, there's too much player power right now for me, and I just don't feel like they are going to be up for it. I really hope they are, and I hope that we do get something out of it. But if we do, I think it will be a draw. If we get anything out of it,
I'd take a draw.
I would.
I'll take it. I would see that as definitely a positive.
I cherish that point.
Yeah, cherish it. Where we come to. Alex, thank you so much for that super chat. I appreciate it. It says we have become part of the Buzz FC Mourinho tactics. It's definitely a part of the Buzz kind of performance kind of lineup, isn't that we're seeing? Yeah. It doesn't bode for an entertaining game from a United point of view. We could be wrong on that, but it seems it's one of them where we're going to be pretty much sitting in, like you may said earlier, losing the ball a lot. I'm just hoping that when we do get our chances, we can take them. And I'm looking in particular at the likes of Rashford because, as you know, his head has been down recently. But if there is a game, as Nat mentioned earlier, if there is a game that he can get himself up for, if there is a game that could turn the tide for him, if you like, surely it could be against Liverpool because he's mank through and through. Obviously, he's had a bit of a rough time, but I'm sure he'll be fancying playing against Liverpool. This could be his big shot tonight, couldn't it? Like, Nat, do you inside? Obviously, we're all hoping and we're rooting that Rashford can turn it around. But do you think tonight, actually, this could be a big opening for him? This could be a great opportunity if he can take it.
Yeah, definitely, because, I was saying even to other people before, this is the game. If we take a point, look how Maisy's saying we'll cherish it. It'll be everything. We'll, they might even say celebrate, but we will celebrate because, people are saying part the bus and it's like Mourinho, but we were better under Mourinho. We've gone so far back from when he had us to where we are now. Yeah. So I'll go back to those Mourinho times. God, we were winning trophies under Mourinho. So, where we're at, if we take a point, and then it could be a huge boost, got Arsenal, Chelsea. I mean, if we take a point at Liverpool, at Anfield, stop their title charge, whatever, it'd just be a lot. And I just feel like, especially if Rashford got a 1-0 off Rashford, something like that, or 1-1, or, something like that, it would boost him, it would boost the whole team, boost the whole club, because I think, even though he's not been announced, new manager, we all know he's coming in next season to get a good result at Liverpool. Yeah, it could change the tide, but, they're going to have to win it. They're going to have to show it's on the players. If they stick to the tactics, who knows?
I think tonight as well, we have to be brutally honest, and it's hard to say this as a United fan. It's hard to hear it as a United fan as well. We are miles off Liverpool, miles off City. So we do have to think I say like the underdog, we are the underdog, but we do have to think like the team that, the pressure's all on Liverpool tonight. We need to try up and try and be awkward and try and put up a fight. And if we get any chances, we need to try and take it. And I know that this doesn't sound like a United fans saying this, it doesn't sound like a united team typically. But that's where we're at. That's how far we have fallen. That's how far away we are. So if we come out with a point tonight, of course we'll celebrate it. And you know what? I know that a lot of people are slating the lineup, and like Nat said, it's a bit of a lose-lose because if he goes for it as well, Liverpool will tear us apart either way. So I think like us being a bit more disciplined, if this pays off tonight, then you'd have to say, you know what? You got it right. It's business end of the season. It's all about the points, especially with the run in there for top four. It's all about the points. Halting their running would be nice as well, obviously, because they're obviously going for the title. So if we can take some points off Liverpool along the way, that would be lovely. I did see something where Maguire was saying that it's not motivational for him to try and put an end to Liverpool's run tonight and dent their title chances. And I'm thinking, what? Has he really said that? Because surely that is our main motivation, obviously getting top four, but also stopping our rivals. You know what I mean? We don't want to see them. We don't even want to see either of them winning the title, but definitely not Liverpool. But yeah, I do think that we have to be realistic when we talk about this. Of course, we all want to sit here and say, you know what, we want to see attack, and we want to see goals. But we're not playing that way. We're not defending well enough. If we go in like that against Liverpool, we could see another 5, 6, 7-0. Like, who knows? That's how scary it could be. And I think we have to just be brutally honest and say, you know what, this is how we have to play at the minute, because Mays, to be quite frank, we're miles off them, aren't we?
We are definitely miles off Liverpool and Manchester City. Manchester City, they had clear plans what they wanted to do when they brought in these managers. When we're bringing in managers, we're basically what Chelsea are doing, but we're in terms of we want a short-term solution. We think, oh, if we get this manager, we're instantly going to win the league, and it doesn't work that way. We've had numerous of different managers. Of course, David Moyes for me was doomed right on the spot. It's difficult to come in after Sir Alex Ferguson. You look at Van Gaal, who is considered a brilliant manager of what he has done. His legacy of football is brilliant. He didn't succeed. He won us a trophy, though. Jose Mourinho, who people would argue he's the greatest one of the greatest managers of all time, he didn't succeed at Manchester United. He took a whole different thing away, bringing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who loves the club. He has passion for the club. That doesn't work. I just look at it and I just think that it's just a very difficult situation coming into Manchester United. And I just think what they have all in the mind is more commercial issues of getting the money, try and make money as a club, and it shouldn't work that way. And I'm hoping, of course, we probably would touch on it a little bit later on in terms of Ten Hag, but I hope if, for example, we do get Ten Hag, I know it's near enough a done deal, but we need to be smart. Newcastle are doing it now with these new owners, so they're going to be not that far behind us in the next 5 years. You can see Arsenal's improving. I know they probably don't have a plan, but they still are improving. You're seeing that they're using their youth more. And if these teams are going to have a plan and we continue not to have a plan and fluke it every single season, what's that going to lead to us? Are we going to end up being like a Brighton and a Southampton eventually, to the point where we're just fighting for mid-table, or we're looking to get Europa Conference League? Because that shouldn't be the case. And we need to be an ambitious club now. We need to be patient. And we need, with this plan, it really needs to work at this point. We need to sit down and say, right, this is what we want in the next 5 years. Okay, doesn't matter about trophies here. Next season, win us the FA Cup. Third season, do this. Try and get us to, I don't know, 5 in the Europe. 5th season, Premier League. That is exactly how it should be for me.
Well, it's got to be a long plan, hasn't it? Like with Ten Hag coming in, we all know it's not going to be a miracle. If it is, amazing, but we all know it's not going to come in. It's going to be an instant switch. And like, look at the players who we've got leaving in the summer. It feels like this time around it is an actual rebuild. And you mentioned like managing the past, Van Gaal, Mourinho. We've been getting managers who you'd say probably just past their prime. Managers who have been in the game a while and they're probably just about now being not being phased out. That sounds wrong, but you know what I mean. That they're past their prime. Managers who you probably say are on the downturn, whereas with Ten Hag, it's a bit different because he's obviously an up-and-coming, young, promising coach. Hasn't had that much experience, but obviously the experience that he has had at Ajax has been very, very promising. And that's why I think this appointment, if it happens, as May says, because I'm not going to say anything until it's all official. And like I said, I'm still dreading that we're going to reveal Sean Dyche at some point. But if it is official that Ten Hag is coming in, like, it is a different plan for us, isn't it? It does seem now, especially with the Ralph situation, if he's given a proper role upstairs as well, that there is more of a plan in place. But it is definitely going to take time, isn't it, now?
Yeah, for me as well, I definitely agree. I mean, I saw Ralph sort of say something about, we need to change in all areas, kind of thing. He said keepers all right, but every other area we need to add, and it's not going to be, 2 years and done. It's 5 years. I mean, he says it's 5 years. Maybe we could do it in three, but I don't even think we can do it in three. I think you're looking 5, maybe even 6 years, and that's to be sort of where Liverpool are, where City are. But then remember, they're going to get better. So we could be where they are, but they could be even better. And it's about buying the right players, having the ideas and sticking to them, not just sort
Yeah.
of we're desperate to get top four. Of course, we want top four. Of course, we want to be in Europe, Champions League is where we belong. But it's not. We're not going to be there. We're far away from it. I
We're
think
not
if we
playing like a
manage to
Champions
get
League
it,
team at the minute, are we?
no. I think if we manage to get it this year, it'll be because other teams are sort of messed up in a way, and handed it to us. So, but I still think that even if we do get it, I'm not bothered what he does in it. Say next year if we're in it, it's more. If anything, it might be a hindrance. I'm not. Obviously, I'd love to be in it and love to do that, but that I just don't want any pressure on him. He doesn't have to win this, do that, buy this. It's just make us better, make us into the team that we should be. We shouldn't be going into this worrying about it. We should be going into it competing. And we've been a long time off that kind of thing. Just get back to competing and actually being there consistent. That's what I think we've missed. We have peaks and troughs. Sometimes we can beat City, sometimes we can't. We need to be just consistent and grow.
I think when you look at Liverpool, what they did with Klopp was the 8th that they finished in the first season under Klopp, and they obviously had to be patient with him. And I think what you could always see there with Klopp was what he was building. You could see the style of play he wanted straight away. You could see the pragmatic approach that he had, the nature of the players that he was signing. I mean, the likes of Mane and players like that, not big name players, but look what he's turned them into. I think if we need to be patient with Ten Hag, but if we can see straight away when he comes in, we can see the project that he's building, we can see the style of play that he wants to go for, we can see the personnel that he's looking for. He's getting some of these players under the radar players that we used to sign. Do you know what I mean? And we haven't been doing that. So I think as long as we can see that plan in place from Ten Hag, I think us as fans will be a bit more patient. Of course, you're not saying we're going for the title, but we always should aim for the top, regardless. With Manchester United, we should always aim for the top. But realistically, where we are at, it's going to take us time to get there. But I think as long as we can see the foundations from Ten Hag, and he's had a good start already from what we're hearing, if it is that he's obviously been dictating to the board and saying he wants to be involved and stuff like that, if it is that is the case and that's how he's going to be and he is going to be involved in stuff like that, then of course it's going to be a positive. But the biggest thing for me is the patience with him. I mean, Maisy, I know we spoke about this briefly yesterday as well on Doug's channel, but us as fans, we've got to understand that, we are far off at the moment. You look at Liverpool, it's taken on under Klopp 5-6 years to build and to get to where they are now. And I think for us, it's going to be very similar. And I hate to compare us to Liverpool. I hate it. But it's very, very similar. When they came in, I remember there were calls for Klopp to be gone at Liverpool. They stuck with him. And just now that they're reaping the rewards, and I'm hoping that we can do that with Ten Hag, as long as we can see on the pitch that there is progress being made, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely agree with that 100%. We need to see a clear plan, and what would be good is whoever we do sign. I know it is. I'm just gonna say whoever now. I'm gonna get too excited over Ten Hag, but they need to be straight up with the fans to say, right, this isn't gonna happen overnight. We're gonna have like a 5-year plan here. And this is what I want to do at Manchester United, and that will, I think, as well, that will also ease the mind of the fans to think, because I know a lot of our fans do get quite carried away every single year. We're going to win the league, we're going to win the Champions League, we're going to win the treble, blah 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 blah. And I think if we are straight, if the manager is straight with us, I think it'll give a clear mind more for Manchester United, because we haven't ever really seen that from our previous managers to say that way I've got a plan here, or this is what we want to do at Manchester United. You just automatically think, oh, we're going to improve. We've got a new manager, we're getting new players, we're building for this style of play for the managers. And now, because of all these managers, what we have had, we've had so many different managers. The team is so unbalanced. And I actually really do worry how how Ralph is actually dealing with his team, knowing that there's players from all different types of managers, from Sir Alex Ferguson to now. I really question how he's done it.
Yeah, you're right. And someone said there, but more rebuilds than a House of Chocolate Foundations or something was just written there. It just seems that, but this time I don't know about you guys, it feels different now. I think it's because of the nature of the players who possibly will be leaving in the summer. Obviously, Lingard, Pogba, Matic, Mata possibly. Like, there's a lot of players who are going to be out the door, and I think and Cavani obviously is another one. Ronaldo possibly could go. Literally, that's half of our not the starting lineup, but half of our squad. You'd say could be possibly going, or a quarter of the squad could be going. So he's going to have to replace those players. No two ways about it. Whether it's with bringing people back from loan or whether it's with signing players, but either way, it's going to have a fresh look to it, our squad, isn't it? So there's obviously going to be changes with his process being embedded into that as well. So that's why I do feel we've got to be patient with him, but also it is an exciting time because it does feel like I say, we're getting the dead wood out, if you want to call it that. We're getting players out, and hopefully we'll replace them with players who fit the philosophy of what Ten Hag wants. That's the main thing, is that we're backing, but we're backing right, because we know the Glazers have spent money. It's more about where that money has been spent, isn't it? And the lack of footballing knowledge from above with the players that we've signed who just don't fit into the system that we want to do. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, but we'll get back to the game tonight because obviously it's a massive game. In terms of top four, if we win tonight, I believe we'll be level with Spurs. Obviously, we have got to play Arsenal as well at the weekend. Arsenal playing this week as well, aren't they? Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea. So we've said it before, but teams will drop points in and around us, and my theory is always that we're going to drop points. But if we can get something tonight and beat Arsenal at the weekend, I'll start with you, Nat. Would you take that this week? I mean, this is a tough week for us, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think, well, out of all of them, I think beating Arsenal is not the easiest, but out of the next three games, that is the easiest game. So yeah,
did you see the clip of Nathan Redmond when he was signing something for a fan? And they said, "Oh, you beat Arsenal," and he said, "Oh, they're not very good." That's what Nathan Redmond said. The same. I was going to throw that in there.
Yeah, but it is Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal. You're okay playing Arsenal. Like you say, are we like a Southampton team? Or for me, we've got better players than them on paper. It's just that they play more like a team. So yeah, if Southampton can take points, why can't we? Sorry to any Arsenal fans, but but like what Maisy's saying, Arsenal have been playing a bit more like a team than us. So it's just a case of who wants it more. And unfortunately, it's been the other teams that are wanting it. But if we can get a point, I just think that'll just be an injection into us. I know it's, I don't like this kind of thing, celebrating a point, but it will be a celebration. So I just think it'll be a massive boost of confidence that we need. I think the whole club kind of need it. I think there's a lot of negativity. So I just think if we could get that point, then, like you say, go on and beat Arsenal, it will just spin the whole season sort of not completely around, but, it would be that positive vibe that we've been missing. And yeah.
Yeah, it would definitely look more positive for us. I'm just going to get the Liverpool lineup as well, so you guys know who's starting, and I'll come to your point on that, Maze, as well. But Alisson in goal, Trent, Matip, Van Dijk, Robertson, Fabinho, Henderson, Thiago, Diaz, Salah, and Mane. I mean, the silence tells you everything, doesn't it? Really, that's a worrying lineup, for sure. But we've obviously gone. I think we've obviously gone with. I know we're saying it's a 3-4-3, but I think it'll be a 5 in defence with Wan-Bissaka and Dalot. Are we trying to nullify? I mean, they're obviously they've got Diaz, Salah, Mane like to intertwine. They make use of their flanks as well, don't they? Do you think we're trying to utilise that and try and pin their fullbacks? Not pin them, but try and prevent the space in the wide areas for them, because they don't really play with a recognised number 9 to the Liverpool. So maybe that's what Ralph's going for with this lineup. And like I say, it's not going to be entertaining from our point of view. It's going to be pretty dull. But if it works, I'll take it, mate.
Yeah, if it works, I will definitely take it, and I will hold my hands up because I'm not happy with this lineup and say you got it right. But we just need to be very careful. We need to be one step ahead there of Liverpool, and I actually think a player which probably people would disagree me with, a player who I think is actually going to be quite beneficial for United in that starting 11 lineup is Lindelof. The only reason why I do think Lindelof is, especially with Rashford playing, we have seen them links up with Lindelof and Rashford with them long balls. And I look at it and think, is this something perhaps maybe we need to do a couple of times in this game to try and get a goal or two?
Yeah, maybe. Well, you know what? If you're under the cosh or if you are frustrating Liverpool, I'm sure towards the end of it, maybe Ralph will think, you know what, let's throw the likes of Sancho on. Bruce said there, the first word that came to mind as you read that lineup was Jesus, referring to the Liverpool lineup. Yeah, I think we all kind of thought the same thing. But, you know me, I never really want to write off my team. I'm not going to do that even. I'm not confident in the slightest. I've already said I'll take a draw. On Doug's channel yesterday, I predicted a draw. And I will get your predictions shortly as well. And also in the chat, obviously, let me know your predictions. But I'm going to ask you the question that me and Maisy asked yesterday, because I'm interested in what Nat says about this as well. But what's your favourite memory from like a United-Liverpool game? Like, what would you say your standout's been over the years? Because obviously of late, it's not really been very joyful for us. But over the years, has there been any major standouts for you?
John O'Shea. I think that's my standout. When I think of something, I think John O'Shea scoring in front of the cup. Obviously, Diego Forlan. And then Wanfield.
Wanfield. Loved Wanfield. Yeah. Wanfield was mine. I know we said this yesterday. Maze, let people know what you said was your favourite memory from the Liverpool game.
Berbatov hat-trick.
Yeah. What a player Berbatov was. But yeah, the Wanfield one, I feel like that was my favourite because I felt like we controlled the game. Like I thought we were superb. And that white kit, Di Maria dinking the ball to Mata for his second goal as well. But yeah, I just feel like that game we controlled it well. The other one I mentioned was the Martial goal on his debut where he sat there in Skirtle. Just purely for the commentary and stuff as well. It was just iconic. Like I loved it. Welcome. Yeah, it's just class.
Yeah,
I loved it.
But you know, can I just say about the whole John O'Shea, that was like not like it's like a smash and grab, and that's sort of what we need now, sort of. So
exactly.
It was a boring game.
Yeah, if it works, we take it. Of course we would. But I think it's one of them where we're all fearing that we're going to be sat in, constantly being bombarded. Our defence is not the greatest anyway. And eventually we're going to leak goals. And then who knows how many it could be because we're not going to have an outlet. You know what I mean? Because we're so defensive. And that's the worry that I have. I'm hoping that we can be resilient. And as you mentioned earlier, we can take our chances if we get any on the counter-attack. But yeah, it's going to be a tense one, I think, tonight. I think they're going to have a lot of ball, as you'd expect at Anfield, to be fair. And it's about whether our defence can hold out. Curly said the Cantona Cup winner for me, and how he did his temper, and how he held his temper, when he was spat on to lift the trophy. Yes. Talk about this, actually. No, I should have said this off camera. I was playing a game of the weekend, and women's football officiating, by the way, is shocking. And Nat will back me up on that, and Maisy will back me up on that. We were playing the game. It was, at the time, I think we just equalised 2-2. And then one of our forwards and the goalkeeper were like face-to-face. Obviously getting into a bit of a scuffle. I'm not sure what caused it. I think it was one of them where it's 50-50, like the striker had a right to go in for it. And then I'm hearing, she spat at our player, so I ran over. And the first thing I did, I just put my hand on the keeper's shoulder, and she literally did the most theatrical fall, bang the hole, theatrical fall to the floor. And I just kind of stood over and was just laughing, and I just turned to the ref and I said, ref, that's obviously a yellow card for diving as well. But it turned out she didn't spit in our player's face; she licked her in the face.
What the hell is that?
True story. She apparently she was going to bite her nose and she changed her mind and she licked her in the face. But then she didn't get sent off.
No, that's
my
weird.
My question is that not worse than spitting in someone's face?
This
or just as bad?
Wrong in many levels.
True story. Honestly, my teammates will back me up.
Did the ref see it?
Yeah, well, everyone's literally they were face to face, and then you saw how my player did not react. I do not know. I think if someone licked my face, I don't know how I would react, to be honest with you. But yeah, she licked her in the face, and I was thinking that's one of the weirdest things I've ever heard. And then what the other team basically did, because obviously she was hot-headed and whatnot, she didn't get sent off, but they allowed her to get subbed off. And I was thinking, that's a red card. Like you can't do that. But yeah, she got away with it anyway. But yeah, officiating was shocking. Nothing. Like literally, you're talking to, and then seconds later, they subbed her off and brought their reserve keeper on. And I was thinking, no, that ain't right. Lawbreaker, thank you so much for that super chat. He said, maybe, just maybe, they'll surprise us. Not touched a drop, I swear. Maybe, indeed, Lawbreaker, I like it. Maybe. That's my feeling as well. Maybe they'll surprise us. Maybe we can hold on and get something. Sorry for going off topic, but I have to just let you know about the licking in the face incident because it was just a bit of a mad one. Yeah, I still got whose thought process is, I'm really angry at you, I'm going to lick your face. I don't understand it, but yeah, it's one of the weirdest things. Women's football must tune in for that. What's that called? Tasting? I don't even know what that's called, to be honest with you. Sampling. Refs is sampled. I've never seen that at all. Never seen anything like that in like the whole time I've been playing. I've played since I was 7, and I've never seen somebody lick an opposition player in the face. So that was a bit of a mad one. Let's see if we see any sampling today in the game anyway between United and Liverpool at Anfield. I'm going to ask you to see what your predictions are. Everyone in the chat, get your predictions in as well, and I'll scroll through them. Who wants to go first? Are you two? Who wants to have a go? Don't jump at once, both. Yeah. Whoa.
I'll go.
Go on, Annette.
I agree with what Lawbreaker says. Maybe they'll surprise us. Maybe they'll think, oh, if I'm leaving or from that. Pogba obviously got a bit of stick at Old Trafford. So, I don't think we're going to win 3-0. But, 1-1. Let's do it.
I like the confidence. 1-1, yep, 1-1, that's fair enough. Ravestone says 3-0. I would definitely take that one, luckily. Alex has gone 2-2. That was my prediction yesterday on Doug's channel because I felt like we'll concede. But I was hoping that like Sancho would start and we'd create something on the counter. And they'll see in the lineup. I'm not as confident that we're going to score 2 goals at Anfield. But you know what? I'm going to stick with it because that's what I do. So I'm going to stick with a 2-2. I'm not confident on that, by the way, but I'm never going to bet against United. Maze, what's your prediction?
It's about going for my head or going for my heart, to be honest. It really is at this moment in time. If I was going to go for if I was going to go for my heart, I would literally go for 1-1 draw. I'm hoping Manchester United would actually hold it out for at least the second half at 0-0. Because if we come in 0-0 at half time, I would be happy. I will be happy. But my head is telling me 6-0 to Liverpool. My head is literally saying that to me. And after seeing that lineup, I think it even more.
6, did you say?
6. Because we've conceded 4 against City.
2 against Norwich.
And I actually think Liverpool's attack is way better. I really do. And it's just, it really worries me.
We've just got to hope, haven't we? And we are really, really hoping here. We've got to hope they're having an off game today. And we're obviously on it. And it can happen. They've played a lot of football recently. Like, it can happen. But yes, look, it is looking unlikely. Lawbreaker, I love that. Stealing it 1-0 with you a clean sheet. If we kept a clean sheet at Anfield, that would be immense. I'd take a 0-0. How boring is that? But I'd take it. We're sounding like Burnley now. We're playing like Burnley. Burnley be playing better than us. I can't even say that. It's bad when your head and heart says it. L. So Cold says 4-0. To us as well, if it is. I like it. Zoe says 3-1. I saw James said earlier 3 or 4-0 to Liverpool as well. Cannot see us stopping that attack. Static says 2-0, 2-1 to United. Phil Jones is put in there. I'm hoping Phil Jones has a worldie. I'm hoping. Maisy, don't worry, I said 8. You said 6, he says 8.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah, although I know it'll be 3-1 to Liverpool. Liverpool are winning 3-1, 3-0 to Liverpool, a lot of Liverpool. James says, wish you guys luck tonight. I've got hope for Sunday because we've got to go to Anfield as well. Cheers for that, James. I think we're going to need your luck, to be fair, and I wish you luck in return. 0-0 and 3 shots total. I can't even see us getting that. I think we're going to get 2. I'm hoping that we score 2 of our 3 chances, but we'll see. They could surprise us, as Lawbreaker said earlier. They could surprise us. Watch Rashford step up whilst Ronaldo is out. Rashford is due. Exactly, that was my point. Surely at some point, if it's not tonight, then this game it feels like it could be Rashford's opportunity to, there's no real pressure on him. Go out there, just show us what he can do. And on that counter attack, when Rashford is running at someone, like, he is frightening. He literally is frightening. But how often have we seen him do that? Like in the last few years, like we don't see him be as direct and going at players. I want to see that Rashford tonight if we can. And he definitely can cause problems. He definitely can. And he'll sense that as well. His pace can cause issues. I'm just hoping that he's positive in his play, and that's where he hasn't been lately. But hopefully today could be a turning point. We shall see what happens. But all of our predictions, we've been honest. I've said 2-2. But I'm not totally confident on that. But we'll see what happens. But hopefully we are surprised. I'm just going to pop your names on the screen as well so everybody can see who you are. And I'm going to let you guys shout out where people can find you as well. But yeah, I'm a bit nervous about this one, I can't lie. First, Nat, let people know where they can find you.
Can you see me?
I can see you.
Great.
Got you.
All right, okay, because it just froze on my side. Yeah, Natalie_17, check it out. Talk a lot about men's and women's football. So
yeah, definitely go and check out great content on the men's and the women's game. Barmy Army content as well. Get over there and check that out 100%. Thank you, Nat, so much for coming on again. I appreciate it. And hopefully we're still smiling tonight after the game. Fingers crossed we're still smiling tonight. And of course, the lovely Maze Manx, thank you so much for coming on. Congratulations on 600 subs as well. Let people know where they can come and find your channel and hit the sub as well.
Thank you, and thanks for having me on, Soph. My YouTube channel is Devils United. I do Manchester United content for men and the women's football.
Make sure you go and check out Maisy's fantastic channel as well. It's been a pleasure to talk to you both. Hopefully we get these ladies in reds up every single week again. They get back into it after we've had our holidays. I hope you had a good holiday by the way, Maise.
I did.
But yeah, we'll get these regular streams back up because I always love talking to you two United. And Meg will be back with us very shortly as well. She's actually at Old Trafford today. Lucky Meg. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Fingers crossed we get the win tonight. If you aren't subscribed already, please subscribe to Ladies in Red. Hit a like on the video. If I miss your comments, just drop a comment afterwards. We'll always respond there. And yeah, see you next time. Fingers crossed United get the win, if not a draw. But let's show up tonight, eh? Let's show up tonight. Thank you, guys. Look after yourselves. Take care.